Hey everyone, today in this video we're going to be building this Web3 NFT drop application. So we're going to implement wallet connectivity and we're going to have minting functionality, and we're also going to build this custom IPFS file storage uploader. We're also going to implement claiming functionality for users to claim the dropped and unclaimed NFTs. We're going to use Thirdweb for our Web3 development. We're going to use Shadcn for our UI and also Tailwind CSS. We're also going to use Wit for generating a React project. And for the file storage, we're going to use NFT storage as a decentralized storage service. This course is for absolute beginners to Web3 development, so you only need to know basics of React in JavaScript. Let's get started. Alright everyone, first thing we need to do is to initialize our React app using Wit. So npm create. I'm going to name it Cyberpunk collection, and we're going to use template react-ts. So yeah, we're going to cd into the directory cyberpunk collection and npm I. So packages are installed. Next thing we need to do is to install Shadcn UI framework. So sudo npm install. First thing we need to install Tailwind CSS post CSS auto prefixer. Now we are going to initialize our Tailwind config using Tailwind CLI command. So awesome. Next thing we need to do is to open up our VS Code using this command. Now we need to add our config path to tsconfig. Paste it here. Next, we need to install types. So I'm going to use terminal inside VS Code. And now we're going to add these alias in our config file. And import, of course, the paths from paths. All right. Now we have to use Shadcn CLI command to configure our necessary structure. So sudo npx Shadcn UI at latest init. So it's going to ask a couple of questions. We're going to use TypeScript, yes. We need default. So base color, we're going to use slate. Global CSS, it's in src index.css. Variables, yes. Prefix, yes. And where is your, it's in the root, so we're going to enter this, and yes, our utils will live inside src lib /utils. So yes, and no, we're not using server components. and we're going to accept the final question. So it's initializing our Shadcn structure. So it's been successful. So head over to portal.thirdweb.com. Here we're interested in this section, SDK references, and we're going to install the Thirdweb SDK for React as well as the core SDK, and we're also going to install the Ethers library, which is a Web3 JavaScript library for interacting with blockchain. So I'm going to install this using my VS Code terminal. Okay, since we're using Wheat in our application, we need to install these two plugins. So we're going to install it. Okay, it's installed now. We need to add this polyfill and to our Wheat config as a plugin. All right, everyone. Now we need to configure a couple of things on Thirdweb dashboard. So connect your wallet and click sign in and sign the message. So now we are connected and we're going to switch our network to Mumbai network. If you can't see this Mumbai network here, you can use this search bar and connect. Now MetaMask asks you to connect your new network, your wallet to new network. So hit switch. Now you're connected to Mumbai testnet network. So the next step is to add some funds. As you can see, I have funds in my wallet. So there is a button for requesting testnet funds. So click. Now in Polygon Faucet website, you need to connect your Discord, and after you connected, you have to paste in your wallet address and request for fund. Since I have funds in my wallet, I can't refund my wallet, so I'm gonna skip this step. Now we need to head over to contract sections and create a smart contract. We are going to create a NFT drop smart contract. It's a ERC 721A standard. So we're going to name it Cyber NFTs, and we need to set a symbol. So CYP. You can set an image if you want. So I'm going to hit deploy. Okay, the next step is to mint some NFTs. Click single upload. All right, we minted our first NFT, and now get back to overview section, and now we need to add this, save this smart contract address in our config files. Open up your project inside VS Code and create a config.ts file inside src. We're going to define two constant here. First one is contract address, and we're going to set it to our contract address, and the second one is active chain. So we're going to set it to since we deployed our contract on Mumbai network, we're going to set it as Mumbai. So next, we're going to generate a client ID on Thirdweb dashboard. So create head over to thirdweb.com/dashboard and click setting. Now we can create API key. We're gonna name it Cyberpunk and click allow all domains, and that will make your client ID. Click copy and complete. So now get back to your VS Code and create a .env file inside the root of your project. We're going to save the client ID here and save it. Now open your main.tsx file, and here we are going to wrap this root app component inside Thirdweb provider, and we're going to pass two things here. First is active chain, which is going to be our active chain from config.ts, and we're going to also pass the client ID from env file meta.env.client. All right, guys, now we can start developing our app. So first, I'm going to delete this app CSS as well as the content of this app component, and I'm going to write it from scratch. Here we need a couple of things. So we need a container, and inside of this container we need three main sections. So we have our header here that contains a connect button. We will have a banner component and a unclaimed NFTs component. So I'm going to start my development server. Let's start by adding a connect button to our component, app component. So it's gonna be a div, it's padding -5 and flex, justify, width, and we're using connect wallet component from Thirdweb. If we were using something like Vue or Angular, obviously we couldn't use this component, and we needed to use the SDK for this, and we also need to add a button title here, say connect. Okay, that should appear. Okay, so we have a connect button here. So all of these wallets are customizable, so you can add or remove multiple different wallets here, and it's working right now. As you can see, I'm connected on Polygon network. So then the next step is to add a banner component and also a unclaimed NFTs component. So let's add each of these. So first a banner.tsx. Yes, and a unclaimed NFTs tsx. Okay, now we have two components. We're going to add each of these. Okay, now we're going to install our application. So going to change the index. Actually, I'm going to change the body and apply BG slate. All right, cool. And the color, the text should be slate 100. That's cool. The next step is to create our banner. Here we add a section, close it, and add a bunch of text here. So this is going to be our banner. So rounded to Excel with BG color, BG background center, and position relative. So after that, we need to have style. We can use banner image. So the banner image, we're gonna import banner image from the assets. So banner JPG, and also we need to have a height of 60 viewport height. And yeah, this is our banner. So let's work on the content. Okay, here we need to have 3 sections. So we need a heading and a description. Alright everyone, now we need to add a couple of Shadcn components using CLI commands. So open up your terminal and we're going to add a button. We're going to add card, dialog, input, and label. So hit enter. Alright, now they all added to my UI folder. Now I'm going to create a wrapper, and this is going to be our component. The button component is from Shadcn, and we're going to modify it with some Tailwind CSS styles. And yeah, this is our Explorer button. Alright, for the unclaimed NFTs, we need to use 2 hooks from Thirdweb. So first one is going to be our contract. So use contract, and we're going to pass 2 things here. First is the smart contract address that we saved in our config file. Then the type is going to be NFT drop, and we want to extract out the contract. And now we are going to pass this contract to our use unclaimed NFTs from Thirdweb. So we're going to name it NFTs. It's basically an array of NFT items. And now I'm going to add a flex and gap tree class here. Next, we're going to loop through these NFTs. So we're also going to have a NFT card that we are going to develop in a minute. We're going to pass a couple of things. We're going to pass name, description, image, and a ID. So let's save it, and now we're going to create a NFT card component. And I'm also going to use the button from Shadcn. Next, we're going to import use address hook and use claim NFT hook, and also use contract from Thirdweb, React. Next, we're going to define our props. Next, we need to define our contract. So const contract use contract. Now we need to pass our smart contract address and also define the type. And we're also going to use the connected wallet address using use address hook. Next, we're going to define a constant and using the use claim NFT hook, we now can use mutate async method to claim any NFT with a token ID. So we're also going to use isLoading property, and also we need to pass our contract to use claim NFT. So now I'm going to make my window full screen. So first thing, we need to use card and with some class names. Inside of this card, we need three things. First is the image, and the next is going to be title, and next going to be our footer. So first of all, we need to use card content. And now we need to add a image tag and use the image prop passed by parent component. And for the alt, we're going to use NFT name. So next, we need to define a title. So we're going to use card title. The card title will be NF name, and now we're going to define. All right, now inside this footer, we're going to define a div with margin right auto. This is going to be our description, and right below that, we're going to write our claim button components. So all right, this is going to be our claim NFT button. So we need to define a handle claim function. And for the claim functionality, all we need to do is to call this claim method and pass three property. First one is the address of the connected wallet. Next, we're going to pass token ID. And next, we're going to set equality to 1. All right, we're done with the NFT card. Get back to unclaimed NFTs component and import the NFT card. All right, now we can see our unclaimed NFTs. And next thing we are going to do is to add a heading above cards. So head over to unclaimed NFTs component and wrap the component inside a fragment, and we're going to add a h3 heading. Then we're going to replace this flex with grid. Alright, next head over to NFT card component, and we're going to add a bunch of classes to image, and we're also going to remove these two classes and add flex and flex column. Alright, now we can start working on minting functionality. Okay, open components folder and create a mint modal.tsx component. Inside of this modal component, we're going to use dialog from Shadcn. Alright, next we're going to add dialog props to our component. And these are the props that dialog accepts. We're going to use the open and on open change props. Now we don't need the props here. Next, head over to banner, and we're going to add another button here for the mint modal. So right next to explore button, I'm going to add this new button. It's going to open up our modal. So let's add mint modal here. Next, we need to define our modal state. Const is open. So the default is false. And back to our component, we're going to set on click. And we're going to pass is open, the open property, and on open change to now we can see our mint and we can use the modal. So next we are going to code our mint form. Okay, for the minting functionality, we need to use a variety of different hooks from Thirdweb SDK. So all right, now we are going to define a couple of states. All right, we are also going to define a get owner function. After that, we are going to define our handle mint function. All right, now we are going to define our form. So we need a, first going to be a file uploader. So we're going to create a component to upload our file to IPFS file storage. And the last one is description. Let's skip the file uploader for now and all right, now we're going to define same field for description. All right, this is our two fields. Now we need to define our file uploader component. So inside components folder, we'll create IPFS uploader.tsx. So for our file uploader, we're going to use NFT storage service. It's basically a decentralized storage for Web3 application. So with IPFS services, you can store your files in a decentralized way, and you will access it through a CID or content ID. So it's very straightforward. Bear with me and I show you how to implement. All right, open up your terminal and let's install NFT storage library. So npm I nft.storage. Now, first of all, we need a API key to use this service. So click login. You can log in with your GitHub. All right, after you successfully logged in, head over to API keys section and click new key, give it a name, and click create. Now copy the API key. Now head over to your VS Code and open .env file, and we're going to store the NFT storage API key here. So save it. Now we can start developing our uploader. First, I'm going to delete these props, and we're going to define a NFT storage instance from NFT storage class, and we need to pass our NFT storage API key. So now we can use this instance. So first, we're going to define a props type. So props on success. Next, we need to define a couple of states. All right, here we need a file to store our uploaded file, and we need a preview, and we also need to store our uploading state. So next, we're going to define a function named handle file. It's going to be a asynchronous function. All right, here in this handle file function, we're going to upload the selected file from user to NFT storage using NFT storage instance and the store blob method. And then we're going to access it through the CID or the content ID that it's going to return. The pattern is simple. You add a HTTPS at the start and the IPFS.NFTStorage.link at the end. And then we're going to finally set the uploading to false. And to handle preview state, we need to write a use effect. And here we need to use file reader to generate a preview image when user selected a file. All right, now we're going to write our input file uploader. We check if a preview exists. We show a preview image. So all right, now we're going to make a input for file upload. All right, now we have our input file selector, and we also here we're checking the uploading state and the previous state to change the button title. So now let's add this to our mint modal component. Right over here, we're going to add file uploader, and we need to pass a unsuccess with all we do here is to set image URL as URL. So this is our input file uploader, and we can select any image that we want. So the next thing is to add a submit button right over here. So let's work on that. And here I'm going to add our submit button. So we have our submit button, and we're calling handle mint on click here. We're also checking the is minting state, and we're going to disable the button on minting state true. All right, before we test our minting functionality, we need to change our environment variables and prefix both of them with with underscore. With this, with process will expose these two environment variables to our client code. So now we can replace these two, and also we're going to replace the old one with the new one with storage API. So now we can test out our minting. All right, our custom uploader is working now. So next, we're going to fill out the form and click mint. And we successfully minted our NFT. So it's completely working now. So the next thing is to work on permissions. So we're basically going to hide and show this minting functionality based on connected user address. So let's work on that. Head over to your banner TSX file, and we're going to have a owner state here. So state. So it's going to be empty string by default, or we can set it to null. We also need to access contract, so we need to grab the contract once again. And now using the useEffect hook, we're going to grab our owner from the contract and set the state. And we also need to have our current connected wallet address. So let's grab that. Use address. So now we need to wrap this mint button in a curly bracket and check if the owner is equals to current connected wallet address. So if the owner is connected, so we can show the mint button. So let's test it out. I'm currently the owner of the contract and I can see the mint button. And if I switch my account, now you can see the mint functionality is not available anymore, but I can use the claim functionality. And before we test out our claim functionality, we need to set up a claim condition on Thirdweb dashboard. So head over to Thirdweb dashboard and click contracts, select your created NFT contract, and head over to claim conditions. Now we're going to add a phase. We're going to add a public phase and save the phase. And there's no change needed. Alright, we can now test out our claim functionality. I'm going to switch my account to a funded account with mobile network Matic. Alright, now let's claim this one. Alright, we need to confirm the transaction. Alright, I successfully claimed my NFT, and as you can see, the claimed NFT is removed from the list, so we can only see the unclaimed NFTs. And if we head over to mobile.polygonscan.com and paste in the contract address and hit search, we can see our last claim function call on the contract. It was 5 minutes ago and it was from our connected wallet, so everything is working fine. And before we finish this tutorial, let's do a quick cleanup for mint model. So we're going to remove this unused states and also unused imports. And with that, we successfully created our first Web3 application. If you have any questions, feel free to ask, and I see you on the next videos.